Hi guys. So today I was reading politics because I did study politics and I not really ever sharing here my thoughts on politics, but it's something that I want to do more and more and debate with you. But because not only I like fashion, cinema, giving my opinion about lifestyle and motivational speech, but I also want to debate about politics because I think if we come together and sit down and have a fair discussion about what we can do together and what we can uh, put in place um, um, together, we can actually shape the world and have a better life for us, for our kids, for our grandkids, and we can. It's just let's debate, and let's have a fair debate. Let's talk about what here in Europe we do, or what in the US they do, or what in Russia or Japan or China they do. Um, Also in the Middle East and in Africa, everywhere. Let's talk and let's have a real debate about this. So today, I wanted to talk about the army and also the nuclear bomb because that is a that is a real question. First, let's start with Russia and Ukraine. We all know that they have been into war. There's a war going on in Ukraine since February 2022. And we've been really talking about it. And oh my God, what can we do? And because Putin has had a real intake and is not giving up. But back in the 90s, uh, there was a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, and Bill Clinton asked to Ukraine if they can stop, not even engage in the nuclear bomb and not even doing research and mind you, they had Ukraine, they had already started um, all the process, all the research, and they had all going for themselves. So if they did have the nuclear bomb, Ukraine since the 90s, never we would have the war today between Ukraine and Russia. Maybe it's a big if and we don't know, but Bill Clinton said it. I felt a little bit of regret because I asked them not to. We signed the paper and asked them not to have the nuclear bomb. Um, how many countries actually have the nuclear bomb? Russia, USA, China, North Korea, Pakistan, India, Israel, and Europe. That's it. Because it's a real weapon. We saw what happened in Japan, but also it's a weapon that can destabilize a different region, and especially one country to another. Um, it's a business, personally, and my thought it's almost like the one in South Africa. We should all leave the idea behind and not um, have nuclear bomb because we never know who might use it, how they can use it, and what it can do to the world. Um, it's an interesting question. It's an interesting debate. I don't know how you guys think of it or what you guys feel about it. Um, it's it's hard and difficult because politics can it was before it was fun before. It was okay, maybe I try to trick you down to sign this or to play along with me. You are left wing, I'm a right wing, or I'm a left wing, or you are right wing, and we have discussion, especially in France. That's a country that I really studied a lot, especially because I was in a French high school. But in France, they have real debates. They talk about the military, but also the retirement strategy, how old people are going to leave if they are going to get an allowance um, after all these years they worked really hard. Um, but I also they talk a lot about investment and the money. Um, this is how we're going to spend the money. The budget is a real discussion these days. Um, but yeah, all in all, I think the nuclear bomb is something that we have to talk, that we have to discuss, because these days politics is up and down. We don't know how your colleagues think or feel about something. It's it's depressive. Like it's not desperation, but it's anxiety. Yeah, let's say that there's anxiety about that question, and um, I think that we should have more and more discussion about um, the military, because we all in every country spend a lot of money on it. The authority that is shown as, well, the biggest country or the strongest country is very important, and I get that. But war has never been a solution. So that is a structure that I think it's interesting to debate about and to look and to actually have a real criticism about it. And yeah, it's not something to neglect. You know, the nuclear bomb really started when Truman, the President Truman, the American president, talked with Stalin at Potsdam in 1945. He asked to talk to him personally, and they sat down with the translator, and I think Churchill was there too. The three of them talked, and Truman said to him, "I got a really special weapon," and Stalin said, "Okay, well, that's fine." He didn't react, which led to think that he already had the information. The moment he knew that, he straight down went with his own strategy, military strategy, and they created also the nuclear bomb. So that's how it went down. The Cold War. Politics is interesting because it's almost like a family business. And sometimes in family, we have trauma that we did not deal with. Um, so yeah, I mean, after all I said, politics is so interesting. It's always a debate. But I personally feel that we have to drop the nuclear bomb and never like trying to have a world without it. But the difficulty that we have is that some countries don't really trust other countries, and we have some like I mean, we have some issues. Yeah, we have some issues that we never dealt with. Yeah, that's. I would be interested to know what you guys think. But it's definitely the occasion to really explain this and being at peace and work it out. Okay, thank you. See you.